About 60 families destroyed by floods and over 48 families that have been rendered homeless. 60 houses destroyed, 48 families rendered homeless in Babesi in the Ngokutunja Division, Northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. We'll be taking you over there to show you exactly what happened and the sufferings of the population of Babesi. That is coming to the floods is coming to add to the sufferings already inflicted on the population by the deepening socio-political and security crisis in that part of the country, as well as in the southwest region. The Minister of Territorial Administration of the Republic of Cameroon, Atanganji Paul, warns political party leaders, militants and media men who are accused of violating the laws of the land and calls on them to be builders and not destroyers of the nation. He was speaking today during a security meeting here in Douala. Floods have destroyed over 60 houses in Babesi in the Ngokutunja Division, Northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, and over 48 families have been rendered homeless by the recent floods that hit that part of the Northwest region of the country. And until now, several parts of Babesi are still invaded by runoff as a result of the heavy downpour hitting that part of the Northwest region, and the inhabitants are still suffering the damaging consequences of the floods. Details in this report by Informe Armstrong Sander.
This is the impact left by the heavy flood that swept across Babesi village in the Ngokutunja Division of the Northwest region of Cameroon. After a heavy downpour across Dindo Place, Babesi became flooded, with water sending over 48 families away from their houses. Livestock destroyed, houses brought down, crops and food stores reduced to nothing, increasing the misery of the people already suffering as a result of the worsening Anglophone crisis. Most areas remain highly inaccessible, and villagers say local administrators are yet to descend to the affected zone. The fund of Babesi and its close aides are assessing the general impact, but it should be recalled that it is not the first time that Babesi is being hit by such flood.
And in the southwest region of the country, the divisional officer for Tiko Subdivision is on a mission to establish greater trust and, of course, understanding between forces of security and defense and, of course, forces of law and order and the population at a time when the elements of the National Armed Forces are being accused of increasing human rights violations within the context of the Anglophone crisis. And the divisional officer of TICO is using sports to bridge the gap that has developed between the population and the elements of the National Armed Forces as a result of the Anglophone crisis. Derek Jato reports.
Mr. Anwafo Kletos Asongwe, the divisional officer for Tiko Subdivision, has unveiled a holiday sporting activity for unity in his subdivision.
It is a competition like none that has ever been seen here. A competition that will be bringing together teams from the various villages. The bike riders will be constituting a team. The taxi men will have a team. The military, the police officers, the customs. It is a unity tournament.
Speaking at a peace meeting which took place at the Tiko Council Conference Hall, the divisional officer for Tiko Subdivision says he knows his people and that they will not disappoint him nor puncture the government strives for effective school resumption. in his subdivision.
Children will be going back to school at any time from now. I know that I can always count on the population of people who have always been peace-loving, who know the value of education, and who have always sent their children to school. I'm confident that come September 2nd, all roads will be leading to the schools.
And to other religious stakeholders, going to school for knowledge is ordained by God.
Our whole program is knowledge be compulsory. Knowledge, for finding knowledge be compulsory for human beings.
And today some pundits hold that Tiko subdivision is one of the few subdivisions where schools have been operational, though not effective since the outbreak of the Anglophone crisis.
The Minister of Territorial Administration of the Republic of Cameroon, Tanganji Paul, has warned political leaders, notably those of the opposition, to stop violating the laws of the land. He was speaking today during a security meeting with security and administrative officials of the littoral region in the regional capital, Douala, and he lamented over the fact that some political leaders, according to him, are threatening to destabilize the country with their actions and statements. And of course, he called on those political leaders to respect the laws of the land and contribute to build the nation and not to destroy. And he said that those who will continue violating the laws of the land will be punished according to the law. Take a listen to Minister Tanganji Paul.
Within the framework of the law, they have to abide by the rules and regulations of the land. They must respect the existing laws. Those who will respect the laws of the country will accompany them and give them all the possibilities to carry out their activities. Those who don't want to respect the law will be booked as being recalcitrant and will be treated as such. I wish to remind you that President Paul Biya has always put in mind the future of Cameroon and has worked that Cameroon should always be a peaceful, united, strong and prosperous nation. We have to, whether we like it or not, even if we don't share the same political considerations, to accompany President Paul Biya in the uphill task of nation building. The administrative authorities have drawn my attention to certain NGOs which are carrying out activities contrary to the mandate which was given to them. So the leaders of these NGOs should try as much as possible to comply with the laws and to come back to do what they have to do. The NGOs are not lawyers for political parties. That is not their responsibility. They have to carry out their activities respecting the law. And the NGOs, as from now henceforth, those that will not respect the laws of the land will either be suspended or dissolved. When you receive the authorization from the Minister of Territorial Administration, you have certain guidelines that we must respect. I urge you to respect those guidelines.
Cameroon's Territorial Administration Minister Tanganji Paul equally spoke about media men and women, and of course media houses, notably private media houses, and he condemned what he considered as debates or televised debates intended to destabilize the country. And he called on media men and women, and of course the media organs, to do their job within the ambit of the law in order to contribute in preserving the country's peace and stability. We'll be coming back to that in a short while. Meantime, we'll talk about the situation at the east entrance into the country's economic capital, Douala. The situation remains disturbing in the Yassa as a result of the dense traffic jam in that part of the town, and despite the ban on the circulation of heavy-duty trucks between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. or 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. in that part of the town, the situation has barely moved an inch towards the positive direction. Immaculate Fogwe has more.
The circulation of vehicles at the east entrance, yes sir, to the city of Douala for some time now has been hampered due to the ongoing construction works carried out by the Chinese construction company. The endless traffic has resulted to a drop in income for most traveling agencies. Due to the traffic jam experienced on that stretch of road, business has been greatly affected. Our income has witnessed a 40% decline, thus hampering the evolution of business. On the part of passengers, the congested roadways is the reason why most of them go late to work. It is very difficult for us, especially as we are unable to respect appointments. Since the start of construction work, we spend almost the whole day on the same spot. It is just by luck that we are able to catch up with our appointments on time. With the new embargo placed on trucks by the senior divisional officer, it becomes extremely difficult due to enormous financial losses that will be experienced by truck owners.
Décision du préfet de bloquer aussi les camions, ça devient encore plus difficile pour les opérateurs économiques.
Road users are calling on the authorities to increase pressure on the road construction company so construction can be completed within the shortest time possible.
And in Chang, in the west region of the country, bus owners, loaders, and of course travelers are complaining over the bad state of the motor park in that part of the west region. And this is because the situation is fast growing precarious as a result of the movement of vehicles in and out of the park and no rehabilitation work. They are calling on the mayor of that municipality to improve on the situation of the motor park in Chang. Emini Luga reports.
This is what they decry: potholes all over the Chang bus station, the unhygienic nature of the town, and general disorder. Passengers leave their homes clean, and once at the bus station, they get soiled. Even us, vehicle loaders, it's not easy on our side. Look at the state of the vehicle park. Look at my feet. Passengers don't want to even get into the park anymore due to the muddy environment. The entrance of the bus station is all muddy and inaccessible.
Nous avons des lames de ressort cassées tous les jours. On a des...
We have our vehicles damaged every day. Look at a head of an agency. To work, I'm obliged to put on boots.
Il faut sortir avec les bottes.
Faced with these, persons working within the bus station plead for a well-structured and clean environment. The loaders and drivers here call on the mayor to work towards addressing the situation. Ghislaine Kenglifak is one of those decrying the situation. He says on several occasions, as one of the sons of the owner of the car park, he has called on the attention of the mayor to give a facelift to the park to no avail.
Malheureusement, ils nous ont toujours adressé un non, enfin, fait une demande de non-recevoir et nous constatons que ça fait blocage. On souhaite de tout vœu qu'ils reviennent à la raison et qu'ensemble on s'asseye malgré le fait qu'il y ait des procédures pendantes.
Meantime, Baudelaire Donfak, mayor of the Chang Council, says the plan of action has been tabled on for works to be carried out on the third site.
Depuis 3 ans, nous avons un plan d'aménagement de cette gare routière. On a même une idée du coût.
It's all clear. The situation remains pending for both parties. And while waiting for a well-structured Chang bus station, travelers, vehicle loaders and drivers are left to face the muddy soils.
The Cameroon Democratic Union has called for a national dialogue to end the Anglophone crisis so that peace and stability can reign in the Republic of Cameroon. According to that political party of the opposition, an amendment of the election and the electoral code and effective decentralization will put an end to the socio-political crisis hitting Cameroon, notably in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. The militants of that political party were speaking during a visit to Banguren in the west region of the country. It is one of the localities recently attacked by suspected pro-independence fighters from neighboring northwest region. Details in this report by Innocent Azi.
Banguren, a village in the west region of Cameroon, which suffered alleged separatist deadly and arson attacks, plus abduction in December last year, welcomes militants of the Cameroon Democratic Union, CDU, headed by Adamu Ndamjoya. The CDU that came fifth in the last presidential election dished out comforting messages to victims of the attacks.
We remember what's happened here in Banguren, so it was really important for us to let them know about our position that if we don't have all that gathering, nothing can be really sure in Cameroon. Election can't be transparent, security can't come back, and the economical and social situation can't be the best one.
Not only this, but unveiled the party's recent information to the population on the security situation and socio-political states of the nation.
We let them know that without modification of the constitution, modification of the electoral code, without a national dialogue, inclusive, because we are dealing with northwest and southwest great crisis.
All these only accelerates Cameroon backwards. Honorable Patricia Tamaimo Ndamjoya, UDC MP, assured the people of Banguren lasting security and infrastructural development in the domains of roads, education and good governance through absolute participation of all in elections.
We let them know that they have to be ready to face any electoral situation, even if they don't want to change it, because when they are organized, they can make sure the development of their city.
To the Cameroon Democratic Union, there is need for all Cameroonians to join hands to support the collapsing nation, while a national dialogue should be brought in as pillar to keep Cameroon stable and united.
Everyone has to contribute to the national unity because we are aware of it. We have to be united, and we let them know that without modification of the constitution, modification of the electoral code, without a national dialogue, inclusive, because we are dealing with northwest and southwest great crisis.
All these only accelerates Cameroon backwards. Honorable Patricia Tamaimo Ndamjoya, UDC MP, assured the people of Banguren lasting security and infrastructural development in the domains of roads, education and good governance through absolute participation of all in elections.
We let them know that they have to be ready to face any electoral situation, even if they don't want to change it, because when they are organized, they can make sure the development of their city.
To the Cameroon Democratic Union, there is need for all Cameroonians to join hands to support the collapsing nation, while a national dialogue should be brought in as pillar to keep Cameroon stable and united.
Everyone has to contribute to the national unity because we are aware of it. We have to be united, and that is why we want a national dialogue with every brother, everyone. We have to sit in a table to see what exactly Cameroonians want for their country.
That thing needed in Cameroon, according to the population of Bangouen, is change and peace for normalcy to return in Cameroon's Anglophone regions in particular and the nation at large.
And I told you earlier that Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, or rather Territorial Administration, the ministry was separated recently. Tanganji Paul has called on the media men and women and of course media organs to work within the ambits of the law in order to avoid jeopardizing the peace and stability of President Paul Biya's country. And he was speaking during a security meeting with administrative and security officials of the Littoral region today in Douala. Here's an extract of what the Minister of Territorial Administration at Tanganji Paul said today.
They must respect the existing laws. Those who will respect the laws of the country will accompany them and give them all the possibilities to carry out their activities. Those who don't want to respect the law. And to the media men, the administrative authorities have drawn my attention to many big media houses in Douala organizing weekly debates. And the debates have nothing to do about nation building or construction. They have one main objective: just to sabotage government action, to promote secessionist tendencies, and to promote dangerous activities which cannot help us in nation building. I think the Minister of Communication not long ago had held an important meeting trying to caution the media profession that they have to be responsible in reporting information. I urge them to be responsible because when you start talking about secession and justifying why certain atrocities are committed, or telling lies on the activities of our forces of law and order who are working relentlessly in our regions. So I want to urge the owners of those media houses to rectify what they have been doing in the past. We are not against the debates that they organize on a weekly basis, but the debate should be contradictory. You cannot have on the same panel 5 people or 6 people talking against the government, and you just have one person defending the government. I think it is not fair. I urge those media houses to be responsible and to encourage debates which will help us to move ahead. I think that President Paul Biya has put us on a challenge which is a mandate of greater opportunities. We should be asking ourselves, how do we accompany him to achieve the greater opportunities and to realize those main projects? We don't need to be a member of the ruling party, but I think that the future of Cameroon is in our hands. And President Paul Biya said it clearly, as far back as I think it was in 1983, that Cameroonians are free to express themselves wherever they are. So there is absolutely no restriction. So we should use the liberties given by President Paul Biya. We should use them constructively. If we have more than 300 political parties in Cameroon today, it is thanks to President Paul Biya. If we have more than 400 private newspapers, it is thanks to President Paul Biya. If we have more than 25 private television networks, it is thanks to President Paul Biya. But we should ask ourselves, now that President Paul Biya has given us the liberty to go and come and to express ourselves, are we using this liberty, this democratic environment to construct or to destroy? So I think it's important for us. I was reading through the reports of the administrative authorities complaining that most of the private televisions based in Rwanda organize weekly debates which have nothing to do with corruption, but rather to destroy or to annihilate all what the government is trying to put in place to build a united and a prosperous nation. So I think that the owners of those TV stations organizing those, I can call fictitious debates, should try as much as possible to be responsible. Because when you serve good information to the public, that is your own part of nation building. But if you give fake information, or you promote things which will not carry us ahead, sincerely speaking, you are doing harm to your own nation. So I think that we should try as much as possible to be patriotic and honest. And President Bobia said it, that in these dynamics of nation building, no one is excluded and no one should exclude himself in this great nation. So let us get from this environment of peace, unity, and progress to show how constructive we can be in Cameroon.
Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, Atanganji Paul, calling on journalists, media owners, and all Cameroonians to be responsible and patriotic in order to contribute in building the nation. That's it for this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. Goodbye.